Hey, so what is going on? This is Dustin from richyouthlifestyle.com. I'm actually making a quick video just to go along with the October mistakes that I made. I like Ryan Grant's October financial results. I'm not that transparent because I just think that it's no one's business. On top of the fact that when you really break it down, what do you learn from just a bunch of really successful takeoffs? I think if you even look at aviation, we learn a lot more from the failures and from the plane crashes. So I'm probably just going to be doing a monthly, the mistakes that I made, and then I'm also going to be trying to find out some answers that I can not make those mistakes anymore. Because I think if you make less mistakes and you take less risk, you actually have a byproduct of just having success naturally. So that's pretty much going to be the take I'm going to have. So if you look at the post down there, the three things I did that were really big mistakes this month was, first off, I bought too much of one product and I got away from the whole concept of diversifying my risk. So I'm really interested in trading as well, and that's actually one of my personal passions. And one of the successful ways that you can trade or invest is to be able to limit your risk. And a lot of times you're going to do that with like position sizing. So you can see I'm in a hotel and there's just attendants walking behind me, and yeah, that's why there's people around. But when you limit your risk, you are doing like say 4% or 3% or 2% of your account in any one trade or any one stock or any one asset or instrument. And I think that that's actually something we should take into Amazon selling, because once you start to get larger and you've got thousands and thousands of dollars coming to you every 2 weeks and you need to spend, if you over purchase in one specific area, it can cost you not only a lot of money, but you can be now stuck with a lot of inventory. But if you actually do it the right way and you're spending about 4% or maybe at most 10% of your income or of your investable capital into different products, it gives you a little bit more leeway for cushion of mistake. If you only spend 4% of your capital on one individual product and it doesn't sell, that's not as hurtful as if you spent 40% of your capital on one product and it didn't sell. So I think spending 4 to 6%, maybe 10%, depending on how small your income is at the moment, on your capital or on your product is really going to actually help save some risk. And it's what I didn't even follow this month, and I put myself kind of in a hole. So I have to remind myself of the principle of limiting your risk. The second mistake that I did was that I bought, again, too much of one product, and it was because I got away, actually this might be the second one, but whatever. I got away from buying the product that I originally wanted, that I had success with, because I thought that there was too much competition on that product. So I bought another similar product that was more expensive, but was also twice the price. And actually it was a little bit more than twice the price. It was probably almost 125 or 130% more. So I made a mistake and bought too much. I did both of them at the same time. I bought too much of a bad product that's now not selling, that I'm stuck with. So I have to change my business strategy again because I overspent, and now I have to figure out a way to be able to realize the same revenue that I had with less money and less product. Which means that if you look in the post, I pretty much committed to thrifting for the next 30 to 90 days, because I know that if I do thrifting, which is how I started for quite a few months, if I do it for even 30 to 90 days with as much money as I have now, I can really make a significant turnaround in my business. It's just the tedious work of thrifting. Thrifting is fun. I like thrifting, but I do really prefer to be able to buy in larger bulks now and have a consistent, repeatable product that I'm selling all the time, as opposed to all these one-offs where you have one of this product and then the listing goes away. Then you have one of this product and the listing goes away. You get two of these products and the listing goes away. I like it, but it's a very hardcore online selling business, and I think that it only works with somebody who really loves that grind and that hustle. And while I love the grind and the hustle, I love the idea of building a grind and a hustle multiple ways. So thrifting isn't something that I want to do long term, but it's something that when you have to, you got to be humble enough to admit, I screwed up, I made a mistake, and there's a quick way for me to be able to kind of get back to where I was, but it's going to take a lot of effort. So you just have to be able to admit that to yourself. Then the third mistake that I made was that I changed my business too quickly without having a consistent plan or vision of why I was changing it. So I wanted to really change my business from me specifically sourcing to involving my family, so that I could have a family business, so that slowly over time I could build a full business where I can have my employees take care of certain items, like pretty much not necessarily sourcing, because I actually like sourcing, especially online sourcing, but and doing deals and like wholesaling and things like that, but processing. So receiving the shipment, getting it ready to ship into Amazon, and then shipping it out. And making sure that we have the units, we have the SKUs, we've got the sets, we've got everything put together the way that I intended it to, or that we believe it can sell the best. And I knew I needed to make that switch if I was going to take my business to the next level, and I knew that I needed to make that switch in a comfortable fashion for me. You don't want to put yourself in too much of a hard place when you're trying to make a switch in your business. it's kind of like if you're going to move completely away from where you live. Like a lot of people say that all the time. Like, I'm just going to leave here, man. I'm going to leave everybody behind. I'm going to move wherever I feel like it. But if you move away from your friends and your family and you move to Alaska, where it can be a very harsh environment, it's going to be difficult because you're dealing and battling with the environment as well as the loneliness and the change and the getting over whatever it was that made you leave. But if you move from wherever you lived and you move to Florida, or you move to somewhere where you get paid a lot of money and it's a really nice climate, it's an easier transition for you to deal with the regular problems of moving, like meeting new people, getting acclimated, dealing with different cultures and norms and being lost. Those are normal things that you're going to deal with, but don't make it worse by dealing with 2 feet of snow and isolation and expensive prices because there's no stuff in Alaska. And that's pretty much what I did with my businesses. Instead of being smart and being like, I want to do something, or instead of actually being dumb and being like, I want to do something, I'm going to go hire random people and try to deal with actually dealing with like strangers and training them and going over like trust issues. I made a smart decision of, I'm going to work with my family, I'm going to hire them, and I'm going to work through the setup of processes and systems so that hopefully once I have that in place, not only can I step back, but I can have my parents or my mom or actually my sister, my aunt, my cousin, whoever, actually manage employees for us, as opposed to me doing it. And actually helping build a family business that way, because I think that family business is so important. And especially when you have young kids, like I have nieces and nephews, that are already going to become a part of the business. And even though it's small, it's important for them to see the steps at a young age so that they can be able to manage and take care of themselves. It's just a step that I'm taking, that I wanted to make for myself and my family. As well as I do want to change my business to be much more of a business with employees and having processes and systems. I don't want to just be an online seller. I want to have multiple pieces of my company. So it's very important that I get this strategy down, and it's better that I did it with my family as opposed to doing it with strangers. Now, this is the third problem, which I didn't need to actually do this at the same time, though. That's the secret. Didn't need to actually do this at the same time as buying too much and taking too much risk on. But what I did need to do was put myself in a situation where I had to respond. And ultimately, now that I've made these 3 mistakes in October, I realized what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a much more strict risk analysis on purchasing products. And I know that sounds really complex, but you know what it is? It's a checklist. It's a checklist. Is this a product that I already have a checklist for how I source, using that checklist, and then making sure that I don't spend over 4 or 6% of the total capital that I'm trying to spend at that time? It's not that difficult. Simple calculator. You can do it. I can do it. I think it's going to make a big difference in my company. Maybe you might want to use it. Maybe you don't. You're probably smarter than me. The second thing is that buying too much of one specific product, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to make sure that I allocate my risk properly, and then as well, once I find the product that is selling, then I will start to double down on that. Instead of buying 4%, then I'll buy 8%, then I can buy 12%, then 16%. I can buy more and more of a product as it has a much more trusted track record. And then thirdly, I'm continuing to write checklists so that I can hire either a VA or an additional employee to be able to take care of some tasks. And as those processes and those checklists come together, it becomes a lot easier for me to be able to hand that off to someone else and say, hey, here's this checklist. It's already been vetted by multiple people. Go through it, and I guarantee that we're going to be able to get the results that we need in the business and in the company. So those are the 3 things that I made mistakes, and those are the 3 ways that I think that I can actually make it better. If you have anything else, I'm sure you're significantly smarter than me just for listening to this point. Write a comment below and tell me what you would do that'd be different, or ask any question that you have of a trouble that you're having in your business, and I would love to hear about it, and maybe I can help you. I'll definitely research it because I just love learning, and if I can learn from your mistake as well as you can learn from mine, we won't make those mistakes in the future, and we'll be even better. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can always tweet me at DustinLives or shoot me an email at dustin.r.y@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and have a great day.